Hey, what's going on, YouTube? It's your certified life and relationship coach, Coach Court. In today's live session, I want to talk to you about a message that I got from one of my Instagram followers, somebody who also followed my YouTube channel. But I told him that I'm going to answer this live, and he's down for it. So I'm going to go ahead and answer that for him. And it's about lies and gaslighting. And if you guys don't know what gaslighting is, it's any types of behavior, things that they say that try to make you question your reality. They may belittle something that you're talking about and kind of minimize it, or they might deny something that you're saying. Like if you caught them red-handed doing something, they'll just they'll just lie and they'll just gaslight you and make you feel like your reality isn't your reality, make you feel like you're crazy. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that song. Anytime I think about how somebody gets gaslit, I think about the song by Shaggy. I don't know if you guys ever remember that. It's called "It Wasn't Me." You know how she was like, I even caught you on camera. It wasn't me. Um, and the chorus just kind of goes, "How could I forget that I had given her the extra key?" So that's like gaslighting. That's exactly what gaslighting is. Instead of sitting and admitting to what you've done and owning up to it and fessing up to it, you make that person feel like it wasn't you, or like it was my twin brother, or it was I wasn't even in the same neighborhood at that time. That's a form of gaslighting. Now, when it comes to attachment styles and gaslighting, there can be some overlaps here. But I'm gonna tell you guys what isn't attachment style issues. It's lying and gaslighting somebody. So I'm going to read this message that I got from him, and I hope it's valuable for you guys. If you guys are part of the membership program, don't forget to reach out to me for your one-on-ones. All right. And I'm going to tonight, if you're in here, we're having a private membership only chat, like we're doing right now. We're going to do that tonight. I'm going to send that time to you guys. I'm going to post that for you guys in the private Facebook group and kind of catch up with you guys. It's been a while. All right. So let's get to it. Hey, if you're in here, like, comment, and share this. If you feel like this is valuable to somebody, shoot this out to them. Let them know that they can come in here and join. I'll answer them live. All right. So let's get to the email or the Instagram message. I got to find it here, though. All right. So it says, "Hi, Coach. At some stage when I can't afford it, I would like to book a session with you. However, I was just wondering, I'm an AP male with a DA female girlfriend. How do you know when it's time to move on? I have been on the receiving end of a lot of lies and gaslighting, hurtful things, but I just can't stop loving her no matter how badly she treats me." That's a form of emotional abuse. That's exactly what gaslighting is. It's emotional abuse. And you feel like you can't get out of that situation. Because what happens is you'll see these red flags early on, but you'll just ignore it and say, I could probably love them out of this. I can make them change. They'll see that I'm like no one that they've ever been with before. And what ends up happening, it just doesn't happen that way. Like you're ignoring what's actually happening in your reality. And when you have somebody that's sitting there and they're gaslighting you, they continue to make you feel like your universe isn't your universe. Like maybe I'm living in some type of ultimate universe here. Maybe I didn't catch him. Maybe he was with somewhere else. He did have to work at that time, so I don't know. I'm just going to stop talking about it because I don't want to make him any more upset or her any more upset. How do you move on? I have been on the receiving end of a lot of blah, blah, blah. All right, I just can't stop loving her. I really want to know how I can start to feel happier, whether that's with or without her. Those are the powerful questions. Those are the good questions. I'm constantly anxious and confused, and I really need to get a grip on things. It's affecting every other part of my life negatively, and it's just not sustainable. This man right here, I'm not going to say your name, but I know you're watching. This is awesome. These are all really powerful things to ask, and I'm going to give you some tips on how I did that for myself. Also, your video on how DAs trigger AP anxiety from 7 months ago, you were describing your own journey and tendencies, and it was like you were describing me word for word. It's spooky. We must be related. No, we're not related, but we just have, the same experience when it comes to heartbreak. And we all do. We all have to go through the process of healing and getting ourselves to a better state. Sorry, one more quick thing. Do you think avoidants have a hard time giving compliments? So I'm going to answer these questions question for question. Um, how do you know when it's time to move on? It's time to move on. I said this in my previous video. When three signs when it's time to move on from avoidant. I'll include that link in the description below. But when you feel your mental health is slipping, when you feel depressed, when you feel apathy, when you feel no joy and no love around that person, you're just you're more fearful about them leaving you than you're actually happy in the relationship, if that makes sense. You're more fearful about them leaving you than happy in the relationship. So you may sit in a room with them and you know it's toxic. You know that you're not happy and continue to stay with them because you don't want to feel the pain that you have to go through in order for you to heal from the breakup. So you would just rather stay in misery, which a lot of people who are in unhealthy, toxic relationships do, or are in unhealthy marriages. Instead of going through what you need to go through, going to the counseling, the therapy, and the counseling, you would much rather stay in that relationship than let that person go so they can go on and find somebody else, and so that you can go on and be happy with somebody else too. It's going to happen. You just have to have faith in the process. So when your mental health starts to slip, that was one of them. When they become mean to you, when they do things like gaslight, when they do things like lie to you, it's time to move on, because you're worth more than that. It's all about how you view your self-worth, because when you feel yourself as being a high value person and somebody that has a lot to bring to the table in relationships, you won't tolerate stuff like that. And if you do, you may give them the benefit of the doubt, maybe once or twice. You know the saying, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. You may give them the benefit of the doubt, but after a while, you're going to continue to allow for them to up the ante and do more and more to you. So you have to know your worth. Next question. Do you think avoidants have a hard time giving compliments? Absolutely. Because what I learned about them is they don't have the history of somebody constantly praising them and giving them affirmation and validation. So they have a hard time giving those things off because they see giving somebody compliments and praise is a very big deal, and they don't want to blow somebody's head up or make them egotistical. So they reserve it, and because they're not used to getting that in return, they don't know how to give that to other people. Words of affirmation isn't something that that's the love language. Their words of affirmation. It's tough for them to give because chances are they didn't have that early on in life, or even in previous relationships. So it's very hard for them to take compliments. And if they do take it or if they do hear it, they probably won't believe it, because if they're struggling with insecurities, which I think most people with insecure attachment styles do suffer with insecurity, they're not going to be able to receive that with the same energy and the same aura that you give it to them, All right, so if you're in here, you got questions for me. Don't forget, later on tonight, we're going to be doing the live members only chat. And if you guys have questions for me, I can answer that for you guys in the chat. But if there's nothing else, I'm gonna head out. I appreciate you guys for always supporting the channel, being here, being present with me. I know there's a lot of other places you can be on a Sunday morning, but you're here deciding to be indulging in some coffee with Court, and I appreciate you guys. Like the feed at the minimum. What you can do for me to show me that this was valuable. Like the feed. You don't have to share the feed, but even comment down below. All right, comment down below and let me know that what I do is valuable to you and you want me to continue to do it. It's almost like a motivation, because if you think about the employees at work that never get any type of acknowledgement, or they feel like it's not worth what they're doing, they don't feel seen. This is kind of a way to help me know that I'm being seen, and the time that I take to research this stuff and to bring my experiences with clients to you is valuable. So like, comment, and share. Appreciate you guys. Namaste. I'll see you guys this week.